The people of South Africa must swallow what they've decided to chew. And they decided to chew 40% of the ANC. So why should you feel their presidential candidate for what? That's what they said they want. Why do they go and make decisions and they hope someone is going to rescue them from the other side? It's their own decision. They chose load shedding. They chose Ramaphosa. They chose the highest level of unemployment. They chose racism. That's what they chose. So if the ANC fails to come together with progressive formations, we are prepared to sit back. But let's tell you, we'll fully participate in this parliament. And this time around, we've taken a decision not to play a role of a disruption, of being robust, of engaging to a point.
Hello guys, my name is Golden Boy. In this video, Malema addresses South Africa. Recently, South Africa had an election and they elected NSC, where the NSC never formed the full government because they never reached the threshold of South African election. Now guys, in this video, Malema is going to talk about how the Africans, most of the Africans, and particularly is addressing the South Africans, where they usually don't vote for people who support their interests. Thank you guys, and watch this video to the end, and I will see you at the end of it.
There's no need really. The people of South Africa must swallow what they've decided to chew. And they decided to chew 40% of the ANC. So why should you feel their presidential candidate for what? That's what they said they want. Why do they go and make decisions and they hope someone is going to rescue them from the other side? It's their own decision. They chose load shedding. They chose Ramaphosa. They chose the highest level of unemployment. They chose racism. That's what they chose. So if the ANC fails to come together with progressive formations, we are prepared to sit back. But let's tell you, we'll fully participate in this parliament. And this time around, we've taken a decision not to play a role of a disruption, of being robust, of engaging to a point where we follow up that which was rejected illegally in parliament through peaceful protest on the streets. You will never see us on the stage. You will never see us fighting with any bouncer, anything of that sort. We are here as a 10-year-old organization with mature parliamentary politics, well experienced, to make sure that the views of those who voted for us are well represented. From now onwards, when you say there is a racist at our work, we check the historical tweeting of yours. If you have been tweeting ANC, DA, go and fight with those white people alone. We are now representing our own people who have been supporting us. Skatel, manje. Skatel. We are with our people. And let me reassure you, this party is going to grow. This deal is the best deal you can ever think of. We did this deal almost the same in 2016. What happened after 2016? We increased our votes in 2019. We moved from 25 members of parliament to 44 members of parliament. So we have never engaged in a deal that is detriment to the growth of the EFF. We've always made calculations as to how do we grow our movement. So we are well within our right. We have not lost our support. The base that we started with in 2014 were not there. Anyone who says we are back there is not true. We are not in 2014. We have just lost some few seats and we are going to bounce back very strongly in 2026, and we are going to work in a focused manner. If you go and look at the list of the EFF now, in the legislatures, in the national parliament, in the NCOP, and look at where those people are coming from, we no longer put people who come from constituencies that don't vote for EFF. We are now choosing people who are choosing the EFF. We are a national organization. We'll find footprint everywhere. But we're not going to have, for instance, over-representation of people of KwaZulu-Natal in this parliament when they've not given us anything. They will get what is proportionate to what they gave us in these elections. And that applies to everyone. So we need to make sure that we all, if we need the assistance of the EFF, let's vote for the EFF. After the election, someone sends me a video of a community drinking water from a well. A well is like a hole. So they take water with a cup, put in a bucket. They say, no, can you do borehole for these people? Then I said, that's fine, we'll do a borehole. Send me the VD results of that voting station. And then they said, ANC, so why are you sending me this? Go where you voted. You don't know where you voted. Why are you coming to me? So when a water comes from a well, it tells you that there's too much water underground. Even when you drill a borehole, you're not going to struggle. Yet an ANC councillor does not drill a borehole. The ANC municipality does not drill a borehole. The ANC government does not drill a borehole. The EFF must go and drill a borehole. No, we now know the VDs that have voted for the EFF, and those are the people who are going to service. It doesn't mean we can't grow our base into the other constituencies, but as a party, you need to have your priorities right. Otherwise, you are going to undermine your growth. You are going to invest your resources where there are no dividends. We need dividends now. I'm really pleading, whether we like MKP or we don't like MKP, if you want peace in KwaZulu-Natal, which is not going to be instigated by MKP, which is not going to be instigated by EFF, that violence, the people are going to rise. If you go against the wish, you know, in KZN is West, the MKP get 45%. The second party gets 18%. And you still think you can overlook that party? I told President Cyril Ramaphosa, I said, your own rules on coalition say a party with the highest number must be the one that lead. Please allow MKP to lead. Do not undermine the voice of the people of KwaZulu-Natal if we respect democracy. And we make that plea that please allow MKP to lead in KwaZulu-Natal. We are not in any formal agreement with them. We are not for any cabinet position in KwaZulu-Natal. We are not for any speaker. We are not for anything. When we get invited, only then we'll look at what are the nitty-gritties of such an invitation. We have never had such a discussion with MKP. We are supporting MKP in KwaZulu-Natal from a principled point of view that says the party with the majority must be the one that lead. The DA, these hypocrites, have been advocating for that. When they've refused to give Action SA mayorship, when they refused to give their partners mayorship, they always said, we are the one with the highest number, and therefore we can't give you the mayorship. What has changed in KwaZulu-Natal? Why is the DA not applying the same principle? Why is the ANC not applying the same principle? So we are going to stick to this principle as the EFF. Be rest assured, fellow South Africans, the MKP will overcome its internal leadership squabbles. It comes with the territory. There is no single organization that was formed and never faced leadership challenges. There was Mutletama here, who had to run all over the streets of Cape Town being chased by Bernard Joseph. So what do I say? We had our own share, and look at us now. We are in a much more stable way. So we are really not bothered by some potential infiltration on the leadership of MKP, given President Zuma's experience and given those guys that we're negotiating with, Abu Natin Tleko, Abu former SARS, Tom Moyane, They are well-experienced people. Surely they should be knowing how to deal with potential internal leadership squabbles. As to what MKP stands for, what do they do and all of that, we are not the spokesperson of the MKP. Let them do whatever they want to do. The people chose them. And it's not only in KwaZulu-Natal. It's in South Africa. That's why I say to you, if the DA goes into government, MKP is the official opposition. Therefore, you want official statement on any issue, you're going to have to drive to Nkandla, like you did, to go and get official reaction of MKP, because it looks like the headquarters is there. So there's nothing we can do. The people of South Africa chose that. And all we can do as people who respect democratic principles is to stick to exactly that. So the EFF is not in any formal agreement, is not getting any executive position from MKP, and it hopes that MKP internal squabbles are just an irritation for a party that is new. So within a short space of time, we hope they will be able to overcome whatever difficulties they are confronted with. What we are interested in is to work with a solid party in the national parliament and in the legislature of KwaZulu-Natal, in the legislature of Gauteng. This part of engagement we're having with the ANC, the same principles applies everywhere. If they are going in bed with the DA in Gauteng, they must not count us in. Panyaza and TK, through their rightful conscience, they got defeated here. They've been very clear of what needs to happen. But they're a provincial structure from a fragmented organization, a highly divided organization, and if their voice is overpowered, there's nothing we can do. By the way, the DA coalition failed in the NEC. They defeated the DA coalition in the NEC. This is what happens now, these days, how the ANC is run in a criminal mafia style. They allow people to speak. Then they say, let's adjourn, the president is going to give a summary. Then what they do, they call you guys in. Then the president speaks in front of you. Those on the floor who feel that this is not the summary of the meeting, it's not a true reflection of what transpired in the meeting, they've got no platform to object to that because the media is already in. That thing Cyril was doing, I was in the NEC of the ANC. Zuma used to give, you know what the president of the ANC do? They come with a written political overview, and they come with a written closing remarks. They come with 2 speeches. So you all speak. Then at the end, they read that speech as if you never said anything. In that NEC where I was sitting, there was Tokyo Sowale. It was my job and Tokyo Sowale's job. When the president summarizes wrongly, Tokyo will call point of order in the NEC and say, that is not the summary of our meeting. Balaga will say, Comrade Tokyo, the meeting is closed. The president said, no, we can't allow that. We reopen that meeting and say, this is not a true reflection of what happened. What the president said is not a true reflection of what happened in the NEC. And that is going to paralyze that organization. That is going to further divide that organization. That's what led to Ngukai Toby resigning in the Eastern Cape. That this is not what we agreed on. And I must now sit here with my right conscience and tell my people to go and vote for DA when I know this was not a true reflection of the meeting. So, but that is their own internal problems. So all I'm saying is, it's not like this matter of the DA is enjoying the popular narrative even internally in the ANC. It's a lie. It's News 24, is that foundation of the Oppenheimers, Brandhurst, that says, no, this is a popular view, or the markets and all of that. We chose the markets for 30 years. Look at us now. The president says, no, we've done this in 1994 under Madiba, and we can do the same. and look at us, we're able to neutralize these people. I said to him, no. Our anger today as the youth of South Africa is, you guys gave a lot in CODESA and in 1994. The National Party came in, neutralized you, made you to adopt a constitution that is going to restrict you. When they knew they had you at the corner, they pulled out of the coalition. You are not going to ask me to repeat your mistake of 1994. I'm not coming to that past. And easy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, now you are here and you want to discuss on the things that Malema has talked about in this video. Now, this man Malema has laid almost everything that he wanted to achieve for the South Africans. And he also showed his own people, the black people, how he will get them into a better places. But do you know what? They rejected that and voted against him, and gave their vote to the same people that want to reinstate the so-called apartheid. So now I want us to come, and now I want you to know that we don't need, South Africa don't need to come out and cry for help or seek help from Malema, because they themselves are the people who voted for this the government, which has always wanted to plan for this apartheid. Now, during election, most of the votes of EFF went to MK. I am a Kenyan actually, and I just want to analyze what really went down in South African election. Now, in South Africa, most of the votes which people were supposed to vote for the EFF went to MK. Do you know that is Jacob Zuma, which is of a black organization, and not to the DA, a white organization. It is the people of South Africa who to be blamed, but the leaders who others would say sold them. Get my point? Like I'm just saying what I see on the ground. So these are the problems which most of the South Africans have always had, and not even South African. It is let's say African all over. Like you'll find a good candidate who want to help you, who want to put your interest at in front. But others say that Malema was very arrogant, and they feel that Malema was going to be a punisher for the white people. And that's why you'll find that most of the white people went ahead and voted for the DA. So now South Africa here, Julius has become a very different person from who he was 5 years ago. And I don't want to be so quick to criticize Malema. But when we have to serve, we have to see whether this Leopard has truly changed his points. Then it is that, as you can see, the ANC has gone from an outright majority to 40%. So this shows that we have woken from the slumberland, but we do not have any politician that are not corrupt, like Julius, who still who still has the answer with regard to the Limpopo. You see, curated news as we do, it is so hard to see who you really want. Like what I'm trying to analyze from this comment is that even as much as you wanted to vote for the Julius Malema majority 20, like we as Africans, Kenyan, Mozambique, Egypt, we are really looking at your vote election, and we saw that you as a person from South Africa, you wanted to vote for Malema. You never wanted to vote for Malema because you feel that he is also someone like at Leopard who will change his own sport. Like these are always the behaviors of most of the politicians in Africa. Like they will show themselves as a good people, then and all of a sudden after they have been elected, they change their skin. Like this is also the same thing that is happening in Kenya. And we don't need to start blaming them and saying that no, why did this guy lie to us? Like in our current state in Kenya, we really voted for Ruto so that we can see how it's going to help Kenyans. But later on, he made Kenya to be a very hardship. Like a lot of the people who were promised, the mama bogas, the borders, currently are unemployed. people are really, really disappointed with this government because they are really, really looting a lot of money from. They are looting while they are looting at the same time increasing the taxes. So we wonder where this money going from, where this money going to, and yet the same politicians who we are seeing are having a language, lifestyle life. Like you'll find that in Kenya, like our president, I believe is one of the president who has traveled most in the continent. Like he was traveling every day he was traveling. So these are the things that made people to be angry. Like as much as you wanted to vote for these people, it has always been their uh, behaviors, or you must just calm nature and mature and refocuses on towards building South Africa. That is 2029. So what he need now is maturity and focus on the goal. He need to start political education for the youth and continue to touch life from different spheres of life. So they will vote for him eventually. These are people who are saying that, yeah, the reason why most of the people never voted for this for EFF is because they believe that this person is not mature, or he is really arrogant and person who they believe will not change things. Actually, the thing that brought him down is the borderline, the border issues. Now, I'm going to end this by saying that with the graveyard of this is just from these politicians from South Africa. With the graveyard of political parties of led by most of African countries to independence almost full, one would have expected that the ANC to perform better. Instead, for 30 years, they kept singing the song of victory against the apartheid, while poverty, unemployment, crime rates continue to rise in South Africa. Corruption and load shedding have become the order of the day in South Africa. In the just concluded elections, the people of South Africa have registered their anger in forcing ANC into a coalition by denying them a majority win. So my guess is that this trend will continue until the NC joins its peers in the graveyard of African political parties for independence. So, lacking of conscience of groups in advanced sciences, information and technology, both in prevalence, general frequencies for its emergencies, and the consistent lack of basic consideration for the marginalized speaks volume. Like Africans don't suffer for lack of integrity or will, but they suffer the collective of bandwidth to develop these, and more faculties are wholesome. Like humanity is in exclusive. Science and information gap has been breeding ground for increasing culture and rooted identity crisis. It has long bred and continue to survival for culture climate that feeds on itself. So the fingers pointing and cross persecution, prosecution also within national boundaries is a self-harm. Like the system needs an overhaul to work for the self-entities on them or through them. So a nation is actually being measured by what life is like for its vulnerable people. Yeah, you can't say that the rich people are really enjoying life while the vulnerable people are suffering, and then you go ahead and say that your country is stable. No, your country will only be stable if only the people at the bottom of the poverty are really celebrating, and they are capable of or able of surviving to provide for the basics like shelter, water. I know water is not shelter, but it is also among the food. Shelter, water, clothing. They are able to provide for their families. Those are the things that will say that a country will always be measured that way. But when the vulnerable people are suffering, then that means that your country is at risk. And that's why you'll find that the most of the Kenyans right now are really crying out because our government is not proving the things that they wanted to achieve. Actually, it has been 2 years and they have not achieved anything. You are not seeing anything happening on the ground. So even if one consider this opinion marginalized, then it is initiatively and acknowledged and known by the average well discerning that the fact that independence is a complex topic is sufficient reason that there is no independence, competing bodies disrupt the harmony to cater to the basic dignity of the marginalized, shunting the total quality human experience and potential. So this is just a matter on matter. Thank you guys for watching this video. My name is Golden Boy, and I believe that you have also listened from this and you have learned something. Bye.